Welcome back to the Now Morning Show on this Monday morning. Thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, welcome. It's now 18 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Now, Southex Trade Shows and Promotions is hosting an agriculture and food expo from August 3rd to the 7th at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Taruba, San Fernando. The expo's theme is Our Life, Our Business. And with me to talk more about the expo is CEO of Southex, Mr. George Singh, and President of the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rajiv Dipti. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Now, Mr. Singh, I'll start with you first. Of course, reason for the expo and what sort of products can we expect to see?
So let me just start by saying we have a press release going out this morning. There's been a change of venue for the event. So we've moved the event from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy to the Gulf City Shopping Complex. So we've been lobbied. We over the last week we were lobbied by Gulf City Limited, and we now actually have access to about 30-something thousand square feet of expo area inside of the mall and also the entire front of the mall. So we plan to transform that Gulf City area into an agricultural area for 5 days from the 3rd to the 7th. The date is the same. So the expo is now being held at the Gulf City Shopping Complex. This agriculture expo is something that we as a company have been working on, believe it or not, since 2016. For one reason or another, we were unable to bring it to the table. And then COVID came and set us back another 2.5 years almost. But nothing happens before its time. And we are very, very happy. We think agriculture and the timing of this particular expo, I think, is perfect based on what is happening in the world today with food security and the prices of food going up and that kind of thing. And everybody talking about, growing your own food. So I think the timing of this is perfect. And we as a company, we are very happy to be bringing this to the table at this time.
Good. Now, Mr. Singh, in terms of what we can see at the expo, is there going to be local products, international products? How exactly is it going to work?
So it's mostly going to be local products. We're going to have people involved in the agricultural sector locally. We're also going to have some of the farmers there on the weekend, the Saturday and Sunday. We also have the Georgetown Chamber. Now, we have 3 partners involved in this particular project. The Supermarkets Association. Good morning, Rajiv, by the way. The Supermarkets Association of Trinidad and Tobago are one of our partners. The Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce are also one of our partners. And we also have the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry as one of our partners. So we have a few companies coming in from Guyana. So Guyana is going to be very present. I know there's been a lot of collaboration between Trinidad and Guyana recently. So they're going to be involved as well.
Nice. Now, Mr. Dipti, I'm going to bring you in because I know Mr. Singh just said that you have partnered with Southex for this initiative. What is the partnership about? Why did you think it was important as well to align the Supermarket Association with something like this?
Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Mr. Singh. Good morning to your viewers and the Now Morning Show team. Kimberly, this is something that we've been looking at for a very long time, as far back as about 5 years ago. At that time, we would have had all these trade shows happening in North America, South America. We would have been closely involved with the U.S. Department of Agriculture, several corresponding units in South America as well. And the idea was always to have a trade show in Trinidad and Tobago to showcase our local producers, our local talent, and to try to get some of these large entities here. Is it that the sector is considered big enough? It was something that we felt the appetite was there. We also have been in various initiatives where we've been in trade shows. For example, I was in Southex a few years ago, and I saw local producers from Tobago, for example, and we would have gotten involved with the Tobago Finance Division as well to try to get some of these local producers into stores. And a couple of the initiatives were successful. So we've seen that there are gateways, there are pathways to try to get some of these people inside. What we also noticed during COVID-19, for example, is that we had many persons who were at home and they were preparing things. There was a lot of interest in how to get your products into grocery stores. And we decided to come up with the SATT Accelerator program to create pathways to try to get people store ready in terms of the packaging, the health conditions and the health standards that we worked closely with bodies like Kariri. And, we try to create, how to get into these stores. So it was something that we felt in partnership with Southex and the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber, especially as the theme of this year's Expo is Our Life, Our Business. We feel so strongly the supermarkets are the portals to consumers, but we feel very strongly right now that it is our life, our business. We need to make food security our business, and this is a responsible response to the conditions that consumers are facing right now. And we're doing everything that we can to create a space for the stores and for consumers to be interactive right now.
Now, Mr. Dipti, as we mentioned, well, as Mr. Singh would have mentioned, the partnership with Guyana, do you think this can also be a gateway for our local products to go across the region, to be on shelves across the region?
I think that's an excellent point, Kimberly, because what we've noticed further to the memorandum of understanding that was signed between the two heads of state, I think that excited a lot of business persons within Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, because the thing about it is that we've had the conversation where now that we're going to be exploring food production both domestically and then regionally, that we need to find ways for it to be efficient, ways for it to be creating opportunities both for businesses that want to get into new markets. Because the thing about it is we're always encouraging, local producers to not just target domestic targets. You have to try to think regionally and globally if you want the best scope for your products. So certainly I think that that's something we're looking at, and I think that's something the Georgetown Chamber is also looking at. So there's a collaborative space, but more driving this narrative is food security, because I think that when they consider where shipping costs have gone right now and what the scope is for the inter-island ferry and the efficiencies that can bring, there's a lot more business to be done, and there's a lot more for both nations consumers to be had.
Nice. Now, Mr. Singh, I'm going to bring you back in because I'm just wondering, how does technology factor into this initiative?
So technology is now playing a very important role in the agricultural sector. There are a lot of companies that are involved in so many different areas of technology. When you look at and I'll draw this example, Novo Technologies, I think it's Novo Farms or something like that. I think that's the name of the company, Novo Farms. When you look at what they are doing and the period of time that they've done it in, a shorter time as 5 to 6 years, where they have these things packaged like baigan choker, tomato choker, and it's in a powder form. You just add water to it, and you have a ready-made product. There's so many companies now exploring things like that. So I think that this expo, which I must say is going to be an annual expo held every year, is something that I think the agricultural sector is looking forward to. I think it's something that's been missing from the calendar of events in Trinidad and Tobago. And we intend to now we're starting this year, but this is an event that I want you to keep your eye on. It's going to grow. I know that everyone that has gotten involved in it thus far is very excited about it. Southex is a company that creates opportunities for people, and that's what we're about. We're about creating the opportunities for agriculture, and I think that this is an event that is going to continue to grow and get very big. We want to make this the biggest thing in the Caribbean within the next 3 years. That's our goal.
Now, in terms of the event, how it's going to roll out, is it going to be hybrid format, or are all the producers and farmers, are they going to be at the site?
Total live event, total live in-person event. Nothing is going to be hybrid at the event. We're gonna roll it out on the Wednesday. It's gonna have a nice opening ceremony. The booths are gonna be up and running the Wednesday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're gonna be actually closing off a part in the front of the mall, the shopping area, and have a huge farmers market and a petting area. And lots of things for kids to do also. So we're asking families to come out. Another nice feature about this event is that it's absolutely free to the public. So we're really inviting people to come out and support it. It's from the 3rd of August to the 7th. This is the first major agricultural and food event in Trinidad and Tobago in quite a long time. I know that they've had a lot of small agricultural events, but this is the first major event that's happening in a long time, and people can continue to look forward to it because it is something that's going to be done annually.
Nice. And Mr. Singh, before we close, where can people go to get more information? I know you say there's a press release coming out today, but in terms of as we draw closer to the date, where else can they go to get more info?
Right. So they can get information on our Facebook page, at the Southex Facebook page. They can also message us if they want at southexevents@gmail.com, or they can send a WhatsApp to 789-3874 to get information on the Agricultural and Food Expo.
Great. Well, Mr. Singh and Mr. Dipti, thank you so much for joining us and just sharing your thoughts on the Southex Agriculture and Food Expo that's coming up in August. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And that was the CEO of Southex, Mr. George Singh, and President of the Supermarket Association, Rajiv Dipti, just sharing about the Southex Agricultural Expo that's coming up in August. It's no longer going to be at the Brand Lara Academy in Taruba, but it's actually going to be at Gulf City Mall, so we're going to look out for that. Here on the Now Morning Show, we're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.